G'day and welcome to the show, Soul Covers. We are back from vacation. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go follow us on Twitter at Soul Covers. Get these bets as I place them. Most of these bets close ahead of the market. If you walk into a game with a plus CLV ticket, you're going to be in good shape in the long run to make money. Today we've got 3 games on the card, we've got 3 bets down and all 3 bets are ahead of the consensus market. So it's been about 10 days since we last recorded. This on my screen is the recap of all the bets that we have tweeted out since we last recorded. We've got it all summarized on a text post on YouTube. Not really going to break it all down. I guess we'll look back at all the playoff bets we've made. So, day 1 of the playoffs, we had the Clippers money line at Denver. Bloody Russell Westbrook killed that bet. If I bet Clippers plus 2.5, that would have won. But look, I'm okay with betting the money line as opposed to a short underdog spread. It's very rare that like a 2.5 point underdog covers that spread but doesn't win outright. So I'm okay with that. That first Sunday of the playoffs, we had bets on all 4 games. We cashed the Thunder against the spread. No-brainer there. They won by 50. You know, the one that I was ticked off about was Orlando. So we bet them at plus 14.5. They closed at 12.5. So we walked into that game with a great ticket. Orlando played pretty well that game, but Boston ended up winning by 17. We cashed the over between the Heat and the Cavs. Just picked off a bad opening total there, and then we had the Rockets money line. Not the right side in that game. Happy to admit that. From there, we did not have a bet on the Monday Slater game, but we did have the Pacers yesterday. We did have the Pacers -4. I just think this is a mismatch. This is a mismatch coaching-wise, roster-wise. It's just a mismatch, and you got to back the Pacers. We'll be looking to back them in Game 3 as well. So, let's get into the slate. And just a few observations that I've had from these playoffs. The under seems to be the move. The under is 26 and 18 so far these playoffs, and that's against closing totals, where most of these totals are getting steamed down. So the fact that the under is still cashing against closing totals says a lot about these playoffs. Over the last 3 seasons, pace decreases by anywhere between 5 to 6%. So having to make some tweaks to my projections, and we'll see how that goes moving forward. So let's get into this slate. We have 3 games on the card. This is not the first game that we'll be covering. First game we'll be covering is the Knicks and the Pistons. Now that we're back home, we can have the odds up on screen as well. So, Knicks and Pistons. Series tied 1-1. You'd have to say the Pistons have outplayed the Knicks this series. This series could easily be Pistons 2-0 if the Knicks didn't have a 21-0 run in Game 1. So this game opened at a pick'em at Circa. It has since moved. It did go to Pistons -1. It is now at Knicks -1.5. Isaiah Stewart is questionable for this one. He's really important for that Pistons team. So, yeah, Pistons definitely outplayed the Knicks. We've got this game projected at Knicks -2. I am holding a Knicks moneyline ticket. Got that down for 3 units. Got that at -110 odds. So, holding a Knicks moneyline at -110 now that the moneyline is at -120 now. -115 consensus. Holding a good ticket there. Now, in terms of my opinion on this game, I don't have much of an opinion on this spread. All I'm doing is just picking off an off-market number. That's what I'm doing. Maybe I can come back on the Pistons if the money line Or if it gets out to like a +2, maybe I can come back in on the Pistons. But in terms of what you can do right now, I'd say Knicks are the side that I want. So if you are coming into this game with nothing, I'd say Knicks -1 for 1 unit, 2 units. That's what I would do. I was simply picking off an off-market number. You have to forgive me for this, Rust. Still a bit jet lagged right now. And looking at the total, we saw this open at around 215.5. Now at 214.5. I got this projected at 220. Do I want to play an over where these playoffs has just been under steam and unders cashing? I absolutely do not want to play an over. Maybe if we start to see this over, if we start to see this number start to creep back up, maybe then I'll get back in on an over 215. But for now, we will just side with the Knicks. Moving on to the Thunder versus the Grizzlies. Just a complete mismatch here. We have the Thunder, who are 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games versus the Grizzlies. They've cashed 6 straight times against the spread versus the Grizzlies. They are just rolling right now. They want this series to be done ASAP. I think the Grizzlies also want this series to be done ASAP as well. We have this spread. It opened at 8.5. We now see it at 10 at some spots. At Bet365, it is 9.5, but it's a juiced 9.5. We got this game projected at Thunder -11.5, so we're holding a Thunder -8.5. Got that down for 3 units. Yeah, just don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. I think there is a -9 still available, so if you can pick up a -9, I would go ahead and play that. We have Circa at OKC -10, so clearly a Thunder market here. Looking at the total, we saw this open at 226.5. It is now at 227. I got this projected at 221.5. Now, looking at all these 8 playoff series, 5 out of the 8, the pace is down almost 10%. Then the remaining 3 series, pace is only down around 1%. On average, across all 8 series, pace is down 5%. Over the last 3 seasons, pace decreases around 4 to 5% in the playoffs. So that's where this number is coming from. I understand the over movement, given that in this series, pace is actually slightly up, or it's pretty much the same. So, look, this is one where maybe you can go grab an under, but then again, the Grizzlies, their offensive rating is like 88. That would be the worst offensive rating in league history, so you'd have to think the Grizzlies are going to play a bit better offensively now that they're back home, but we'll see where this total moves. Maybe if I see it drop down, I'll go play an under, but for now, I've got nothing on this total. So let's move on to the last game on the card, which is the Nuggets and the Clippers. We saw the spread open anywhere between 4.5 to 5. Now at 5.5, you see a juiced 5.5 to the Nuggets here. That's interesting. We see Circa is at 5, but is a juiced 5 to the Clippers. We see Bookmaker at 5, juiced 5 to the Clippers as well. I'm holding a Clippers -5. Got that down for 3 units. Got this projected at Clippers -7. Clippers, they've just outplayed the Nuggets so far through 2 games. You'd have to think they should be 2-0 if it weren't for Russell Westbrook making a few 3-pointers. You live with that, and you see Michael Porter Jr. He's questionable now. He's not the greatest player, but for a Nuggets team that is only 6 or 7 deep, he is really important. If he sits out this game, this means more Russell Westbrook, which, yeah, Like, sometimes I think the Russell Westbrook slander, it goes a little bit too far. Like, he's definitely an NBA player. He's definitely a guy you can play 15 to 20 minutes a game, but do you want him playing 35 minutes a game, which he will be playing if MPJ sits out? Absolutely not. You have a Nuggets team that is a lot better at home versus on the road. You have the Clippers team that are the best home team in the league against the spread. Give me the Clippers. Yeah, we're holding Clippers -5. I believe there is still a -5 at FanDuel that you can play. It is juiced a little bit. I would prefer the 5 as opposed to 5.5, even if you have to pay a bit more. 5 is a very common outcome in NBA games. It is one of the key numbers in NBA games, one of the most common push numbers. So I would prefer that you take a 5 as opposed to 5.5. And yep, you can get a Clippers -5 for -113, -114. So I'll go grab that at FanDuel. Looking at the total, we see this open at 213.5. It is now at 212.5. I've got this projected at 226. Now, that number is based on the Nuggets' full season offensive rating with the playoff rotation. They just have not played well offensively this series. The Clippers have done a great job defensively. Do I want to play an over in a market that is moving under in a playoffs that is just going under? No. Maybe if I start to see it creep back up, I'll get back in on that over. But for now, I've got nothing on the total. Just got Clippers -5. So let's look into our best bets for today. We've got 3 bets on the card. Knicks moneyline, OKC -8.5, and Clippers -5. All 3 of the bets are ahead of the consensus market, so that's all you can ask for going into these games. Is your bet closing ahead of the market? I've done my job. Will the players do their job? We will see. Looking at April, certainly not as good as our March. We're still up money for April, so you can't complain at that. Let's try go 3-0 today, if not 2-1. Feeling really good about the Clippers and OKC tickets. Knicks moneyline is probably the ticket that I like the least, but it is still ahead of the market, so you can't complain about that. We'll be back tomorrow for tomorrow's games. Shows we'll be doing the show most days, around 6 to 7 times a week going forward. Until next time, let's get them books sold to you.